Don't miss your chance on winning this Defender Outback Mini 2.0 crawler. On the 27th of June, we're going to have a raffle with all the subscribers, so make sure you subscribe. I will get it ready for shipping and I will send it to the lucky winner. So let's get back into today's video. Hey guys, on this week's show, we're taking the TRX4 and giving it the ultimate suspension setup. Watch it drop. To fine tune the suspension of the TRX4, I'm going to be adding a 1 centimeter lift kit to the front suspension, raising the nose of the car. Then I'm going to be changing the position of the rear shocks, allowing the rear axle more articulation and travel. So setting up the rear axle is exactly like last week's show, taking the shock absorber out the front and mounting it into this position. So that's the rear suspension done. Now we're going to be concentrating on the front, adding the 1 centimeter lift kit so the car doesn't look like it's in attack mode. Now last week's run, the suspension was all the way up, or the springs were actually all the way up. I'm going to just give them a little bit of pressure. I'm going to set about 0.5 centimeter and measure it from the top of the aluminium casing. There we go, both sides are equal, giving it a little bit more tension so that it doesn't bottom out so much on speed runs. And on the front suspension, from the top of the aluminium casing to the setting ring of the spring is 1.1 centimeter. So with that setting, I still have droop in both directions. Now that is a nice suspension setup. The car must drop into the suspension as you let it go. Not too much, but still have enough articulation and suspension that it doesn't bottom out too soon. So by changing the rear shocks, the car does sit at quite a steep angle. Lifting the front suspension with a lift kit of 1 centimeter makes the car sit a little bit more level. Now adding to the suspension setup, I have weighted wheels all round. I have 40 grams of weight on the front of the vehicle, and I have 10 weight oil in the shocks, giving this car brilliant articulation. The tires act like magnets pulling down on the rocks and balancing the car out with the 40 gram weight in the front so that the car is a little bit nose heavy. So if I put my body on, which weighs more at the back, the weight at the front compensates that and still makes the car a little bit nose heavy. Now mixing the weighted chassis setup with the ultimate suspension setup, this car's going to be unbeatable. You're going to go out on the track and you're just going to run away from all your buddies. So let's take it out on the track and let's see how it performs. an amazing setup. It makes all the difference. On the high speed runs, the suspension setup with the 10 weight oil in the shocks is just perfect. On the downhill, seeing that we raised the nose by 1 centimeter, the downhill is a little bit more controllable and the car just sits a little bit better on the track. And with crawling, the articulation of the rear axle just makes more contact and gets you over the bigger obstacles. And on uphills, I don't need to say much. You saw what it did, you saw how it performed on the uphills. So all round, the suspension setup and the chassis setup is absolutely amazing. And don't forget guys, next week we're going to have the raffle of the Outback Mini from FTX. So that's it from me this week. Thanks for watching. Click that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you guys next week. Bye.